Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David. Today we're going to review the blue cohorts from illusionist.com. Hey everybody, thanks for being here. Just want to tell you a couple of things of note. Right now we have two giveaways going on. That's right, two giveaways. There's a giveaway over on my Instagram channel, giving away 2 decks of House of the Rising Spade from Stockholm 17. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I don't know why, because I do giveaways over there all the time. I probably do like 2 giveaways a month, and each giveaway has like 2, 3, 5, 7 decks of cards. So I'm constantly giving away decks of cards. Over on this channel, over on YouTube, I'm actually giving away 2 decks of the Parlor playing cards that are pretty much blowing up Kickstarter right now, also from Stockholm 17 and The Gentleman Wake. So that giveaway is right over that way or that way, depending on, I don't know. It's my previous video, so it's a video right before this one. I'm doing a giveaway for those 2 prototypes as well. So 2 chances to win, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you're following me on both places, but only if you like giveaways, only if you like free decks of cards. Let's talk about the cohorts. All right, so I picked up a deck of red, picked up a deck of blue. I have them both. We'll talk about them both, but I know everyone wants to know about the blue and just how thin they are. It's a new thin stock, new super thin stock from Cartamundi. All right, so if you don't know, the Illusionist cohort deck is a marked deck. It's a marked deck. These are poker-sized playing cards, and they're perfect for card tricks. These playing cards are a super good quality, and I think they're a great option for value-focused magicians. So what is a cohort? A cohort is like a brotherhood. Like, it's a band of friends. It's your gang, it's your posse. You know, you'd say, these are my cohorts. And it sort of has a negative or evil connotation. You don't really say your friends or cohorts. You know, it's like they find a criminal and they say, you know, his cohorts are Rusty Steve and Chainsaw Dan, like that kind of thing. And I don't know why I said those 2 weird examples. The tuck box has a very clean and classic look to it that I think complements the back design. This deck was inspired by the Arco playing cards because Illusionist wanted a casino-style deck. Of course, the tuck case face has a blue or red colorway, with the opposite color being the accent. The top of the blue deck says Quality Playing Cards MMI, which is Roman numerals for 2001. But the red deck says Quality Playing Cards EPCC. And I've heard some people are very confused by that, because in the card world, EPCC means Expert Playing Card Company. And that's what we always use when we refer to Expert Playing Card Company. Even Expert uses that acronym, but Illusionist is using it for Illusionist Playing Card Company. So that's what it means. It doesn't mean Expert. These cards are made by Cartamundi. That's probably why they changed it from the red deck to the blue deck. One side says Cohort Classic Playing Cards, the other side says Luxury Pressed E7 stock. The bottom has some ad copy about Illusionist, and the top says printed in Belgium, and you have the 4 suit pips. The back design, of course, is the back design of the cards. The tuck flap has a little red icon of some flying birds. And that's everything I can say about the tuck case. Let's break it open. Let's look at these cards. First thing I notice about the blue tuck case when I open it is there's a ton of wiggle room inside. The tuck boxes for blue and red are the same size, even though the cards on the inside are not. So the blue, listen to that. Here, I'll put it by my microphone. They wiggle. You could probably stick 20 more cards in this deck. So, I mean, there's a ton of, look at that, there's a ton of space in there. There's a lot of wiggle room. The cohort playing card back design is very intricate, and it has very bright, strong colors, whether it's red or blue, and I think the colors really pop out at you. Like I said, this back design is marked, and you can visit Illusionist's YouTube channel, or you can even visit illusionist.com and go to the cohort page to learn how they are marked, but it is Stupid easy. It's very simple to read. It's not obvious. It's still hidden in the back design, but it is simple to read. The only thing I didn't love about it is it's reversed from left to right. So I read left to right, I think, like most human beings. And so it doesn't say 4 of clubs, right? It says clubs 4. So you get the suit first, value second as you go from left to right. So that was just a little weird thing to me. But I guess it'd be cool in a reveal, you know, you can reveal the suit first and then reveal the number second. Yeah. Like I said, this back design was inspired by the Arco, and you can definitely see that influence. There's little birds in the corner, and almost like an Indian or Persian frame and border on the inside. You have a huge diamond in the center with a top and bottom circle above and below. You see the 4 spade pips there as well in smaller detail, and just lots of like leaf ornamentation. With this deck, you'll get 2 jokers. You'll get a black and a red. It is a circle graphic that just simply says Joker with some flowery leaves and a jester sitting atop on one side. Also with this deck, you'll get a double backer, red for blue, which is great if you buy both decks, and it's great for magic tricks. Your ace of spades is nice and big and bold. You got a giant spade center graphic, and it says Cohort Classics printed in Belgium underneath that. And the rest of your aces all have large center pips as well. Your pips and NEC cards are gonna have a classic inspired look. Blacks are black, reds are red. Font in the corner will be what we would consider a normal font, classic font for a deck of cards. The court cards definitely have a more retro, more vintage look to them. They're not exactly Arco, but they're definitely Arco-esque. They're definitely Arco-inspired. And then the pips are done in a more chunky, less angly look. The clubs, for instance, and the hearts have very fat ends to them on both sides. So there's a lot of weight. Even in the spades on the sides, you can see that they're carrying a lot of weight on the left and right. So it's all themed together to look like a classic deck. But that's just what the cards look like. You also want to know how thin these blue cards really are. All right, so here's the deal. If I stick the red deck in the caliper, it comes to 3.05. Now 3.05 is kind of what we expect for Cardamundi decks. They're usually over 3, right? They're usually over 3.0. And they're a thicker stock. They definitely feel like a casino grade stock. They definitely handle like casino cards. They have a nice stiff rigidity to them, but they're great for playability. They hold up well, they spring well. There's a lot of action to Cardamundi cards, I think. The blue cards, what Illusionist was trying to do, was trying to find a recipe to make a thinner deck that maybe felt more like a bicycle deck, okay? Or like a bicycle crush stock deck. The crush stock, the thinner decks are super popular right now. And so trying to see if Cardamundi could make a thinner stock. This is definitely thinner. This is definitely thinner. 10 of these cards in the caliper come to 2.60. 2.60. That is literally nothing I own. I don't own anything in the 2.6 area at all. I think I own one deck that comes in beneath it, but everything else is way above it. So this is easily the thinnest deck of cards I own. So if this becomes a mass-produced deck, or if Cardamundi starts making this stock more and more and more, you're gonna see a lot more thinner cards on the market. But to say that they're trying to match Bicycle, I think they went too far. These cards are super thin. Like I was saying, they're thinner than the Tuck Box. There's so much rattle inside of them. I think they could have made them a little thicker. I mean, you can definitely feel how thin they are. I mean, sometimes thin cards feel really good and you're like, wow, these feel nice. These just feel thin. They almost feel invisible. I mean, they're just, just holding the whole deck of cards in your hand, it doesn't even feel like a whole deck of cards in your hand. So I don't even know how that would work for cardistry, because I think with cardistry, you base it so much on feel that you're like feeling for blocks, you know, and you're trying to get, I have to get 5 blocks out of this or 3 blocks out of this. I think you'd overshoot and you'd grab so much because you were used to practicing with a deck that's a little thicker. Does that make sense? So, I mean, yeah, they're super thin, and I think they're marked cards, right? They're marked cards, so what are you gonna use them for? Magic, right? You're gonna use them for Magic. Please don't use these for gameplay, right? Don't use them for poker. And I can't see why someone would use these for cardistry. Illusionist is a Magic website. They sell Magic props. So for that reason, I think for shuffling, that's usually why we like thin cards. For shuffling, these things will shuffle like butter because of the stock and cut and the thinness of these. So blue cards, definitely super, super thin. Red cards, super, super thick. All right, so that's everything I can say about the Cohorts, the red and the blue from illusionist.com. If you like these cards, I would definitely head on down to illusionist.com and pick yours up. Like I said, I've got 2 contests running right now, one on Instagram, one on YouTube. Make sure you go check those out as well if you like free cards, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, bye.